Hi there, and welcome to Nerf News in the Owl Ranch, Season 2, Episode 36. I am your host, Chris Cartaya, Drink and Smoke. And we'll be doing a little bit of that today, quite a bit. But this has been a really interesting last couple weeks of Nerf. We've seen FTL leave because of a motor supply problem. We've seen efforts of Hasbro whoring the crap out of the Nerf Ultra 1 idea. We've seen lots of stuff. I've seen a lot of really good mods coming our way with the knockout, and now actually some more stuff that might be possible with other blasters. Maybe the X-Shot Orbits. Who knows, man? I had some down low information this week on a few mods and a few things going on. So I wanted to show you that real quick as we get this show started. But first, this is today's viewer harassment tool. This is a Nerf Rampage. Oh, yes. Oh, no! My stage light fell. Ah, crap. Gonna have to secure that just a little better. Stay. Okay, so anyway, I shot the phone with the stage light. Oh, can you believe that? Well, at any rate, and I got a couple of goodies. Yeah, we got some goodies to open today. How's this gonna be fun? Yeah. So anyway, let's get down to it, shall we? Yes. First off, I think I want to pour us a drink. Today's bourbon of the day is Knob Creek Small Batch 100 Proof. Yepers. Oh, it's got a really tight cork to it, but yeah. Got me some ice. Oh, yes. I know I'm going to get, like, sponsored for some product placement thing by the liquor companies one day. I'm just waiting for the checks to roll in and drive around in a new Ferrari and live by the beach or something. That'd be really great. Can you imagine if I actually... This show's never going to be that big. What am I thinking? Well, anyway, let's sample this wonderful bourbon. Oh, wow, pretty strong. It's about as strong as Wild Turkey. Yeah, sore throat, that will definitely clear it. Oh, yes. So let's get to that wonderful bean footage. First, we'll start with Dwayne Hoy, who has just some pretty incredible footage. So, what is this blaster exactly? Can you guys tell me? I'm sure you've never seen it before. This is actually an X-Shot Orbits. Yeah. Pretty cool blaster. This came from Dwayne Hoy. Dwayne handed this to us. It's got a prime lever, it's gears, but it looks pretty solid. And I'm thinking of some ways to maybe direct prime this priming mechanism. It might be in order. But you know what I'm thinking, is that priming or is that actually just the feeding of the ammo? What does that dictate? I don't know. It uses a bigger spring because it has a pretty fat plunger rod. And it's pretty cool. I mean, he's saying this could be the long shot of the next Nerf, the next Nerf cotton blasters. Look at this huge tube here. Wow, it's pretty amazing. It's got a huge tube. It's got a really big diameter spring. This is good because using like a long shot spring, that'd be rad. Also, it seems to have a pretty good catch mechanism right there. That little detent right there. And it looks like it could be really cool. The only problem is, of course, it's side mag. But, you know, today I decided my harassment tool was going to be side mag. Just to show you that. Yeah. It can be done. Yeah. Everybody remember the side mag? I remember when this was considered badass. Yes, 35 round drum. And you're just like, ha ha ha, sucker. You know, back in the old Raider days. Yeah. You never know. It could come back. But one thing I don't like about a lot of the Adventure Force X shots is they are actually better suited for the sideway mag. And the reason is this priming bar down here. But could you do something about the priming bar? I'm thinking so. So prime bar goes here, it gets pushed back here. See, I'm thinking this is just for the feet. So maybe, just maybe, you could actually prime this back directly and just run your stuff in there. Yeah. Well, you could just use this for the feeder. Okay, that doesn't take much stress. Just see, all your stress is on this bar back here. So Okay, it's doable. It's doable. I see what you're saying. It's doable. And a few pictures here. But thank you very much. And later on, I'm going to open a package from him. He actually sent me a package of a blaster I haven't been able to get, sadly enough. Also, there was some really good footage of this being in gold. Oh, excuse me. Gold. So Zach Freeman, who has an Etsy store right here. It's on the Nerf Blaster. Look it up. He has a link to this Etsy store, the Nerf Blaster. If you can't find it, Google it! Yes. And let's see here. He's got all these really cool inventions. And, you know, scram rod, some magazine holders, some really cool stuff. Yeah, duplex holders. That's cool. Brass breech stencil. That's nice. So he's been working on these stencils for, like, brass breeches, things like that. But now he's got a new stencil. A really cool stencil. A Merlin stencil. That's so cool because it is really tough to rule out those lines. I think the lines can be a little wider. I know on mine they're usually a little wider. On this one they're slightly thinner because this is a full twist 152 Merlin, which means it's 152 millimeters. And full twist means it goes around one spin. Look at it. It looks like the end of a Bond film or something. Yeah, exactly. So, and anyway, this is really cool. $15, really awesome. You can you have you know, one to 11, 1 to 12, 1 to 16. That's really cool. So you can have all these different twist weights, and you don't have to worry about them being, you know, off on the drawing. But it's usually not the drawing that usually makes them off. It's usually trying to cut them. Because you have to cut them with literally a Dremel tool, like a Dremel disc, like this one. And you have to... Actually, you know what? I should do my nails. Ow, fuck! Ah! Okay, but anyway, bad memories. This is a pretty cool idea. I like it. It's our friend. Yeah, so you see, you draw with a pen, just like that. It even gives you room for your base over there. Oh, look at that. Yeah, so you can make nice, happy Merlins like that. That is really cool. So, Lord Drac, the usual kind of good content that he does and everything else.
Guys, it's Drac, and I want to talk to you about my favorite
category. His favorite category. He did a great video on long-range blasters, but he decided no long shot. Why no long shot? You know what I'm thinking right now? I like you, Drac. I love you, Drac. But just to tease you just a little bit, I'm going to go to my little Kanzera pitch shifter here. And I'm going to bring this down to like, yeah, I'm going to bring down your pitch. Why? Because I think you sound really funny if you had like this really deep voice. So here we go. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Yeah.
Marksman rifle. That would be my favorite kind of Nerf blaster. And in the scope of
oh no, that's too high pitch.
It's very versatile in terms of like its engagement range, but also it hit targets accurately very far away. So this is
what happened? Long ranges, no, don't do that. What happened to this fucker? God, YouTube is just fucking up today. I don't know why. Bye. Pause. Please. Oh. Playback speed, normal. Normal playback speed. What, did time all of a sudden accelerate or something? Because I down pitched him. I didn't up pitch him. What the shit? Hang on. It's not being my friend. Yeah.
I want to talk to you about my favorite category of Nerf blaster, and I'm going to have to borrow a little bit of video game nomenclature for this. A little bit of military
this is Drac on speed.
So if you're familiar with a D.M.R right
Okay. So this thing is, I don't know what is going on with my computer right now, but it's being all effed up. So he did an AMR video, basically, on long-range blasters. He covered the old snap pulls, the old, the old Aeromech kind of blasters, Caliburns, Dark Zone Pros, but he didn't cover long shots. That's right, long shots. So today I'm going to have an AMR section on long shots, pistols, and sidearms. Okay, so at any rate, when I am looking to shoot long range, my goal is to hit people in excess of 200 feet. Not close range attack, not close range assault. Across the park. Basically the back line of firing. Now, depending on what you really want to use, what you want to do, it really dictates what you should use. But in my case, I usually want the best loading, the best firing, and the best long range. Now, he defined it as shotgun grip, shotgun grip kind of blasters that can multi-load and are usually spring powered. I like those, but there is another part of long range shooting that is really important, and that is, of course, single shot pistols and single shot blasters. Why? Because when you load the magazine on a blaster, what happens is it will tend to smash the darts. Now, when it does this, squeezing it into a smaller piece of 503 brass usually helps. One of the reasons I like 503 brass a lot better than aluminum is for that reason. This, of course, does not have a 503 brass barrel to it. But I know my blasters, such as Big Blue does, and everything else. So what you want to do is you want a blast that deforms the darts the least. That's the feeding. It doesn't chip the dart. It doesn't change around the darts. You're using the same kind of darts with the same weight, the same gluing method. Okay, but also cuts through the air and works very well. Like I was playing with this one earlier. It was in a magazine, and you can see it. Yeah, there's a little bit of a crunch there, and that does not make for perfect barrel contact. So long shot is good if you got a lot of ammo, you got a lot of targets, and you want to shoot far away. Basically, the main thing with a long shot, and I'll pick up number 2 long shot for this, is you do like what Alan Torino says. Basically, you hold it like this. That's OC Nerf. You hold it like this, and you let it move freely. You want to steady your trigger shake as much as possible, and you want to crown your barrel and make it as precise as possible. The better blasters for I think long shots and not like single shot sniper is actually smaller groups, not larger groups. I'll explain why. Because a long shot, a sniper has to be a little bit more dependent on himself. He's not going to be behind a line of people. He's not going to be behind a line of other players covering him, or a bunch of groups of people going in with their flywheel blasters and attacking the perimeter with springers or long shot kind of blasters. So really, you got to have a long shot yourself. I mean, even in a war like, I would say a small Gooden kit loadout, maybe like 35, 40 people, I would still probably go long shot. And the reason is a sniper needs to be able to cover himself. Now, of course, you could, of course, cover yourself really well if you have like this as a sidearm. Oh, yes. This as a sidearm is really good because it makes you a little less dependent on, it makes you a little less dependent on your primary, and if anybody runs around the corner, you can just use your quick draw magnetic holster, and you can blast them. Something like a Stefan powered retaliator, or even a Strife. I mean, really good, I mean, you got plenty of accuracy, plenty of rate of fire, no problem. But the thing is that a situation where you're in a corner may happen so quick that you have to use your primary blaster. And that's why, for smaller games, you're actually better off with these. Or games where, even though you're trying to hit in the 200s, you may have engagements that are shorter, maybe 150, maybe 100. Yeah, you definitely want shotgun grip kind of blasters, because with the single shot blasters, you are a little more limited to the outfield. But there are some games where that is a benefit. Now, why go single shot? Why? Most people don't get that philosophy, but then again, most people don't have as accurate of a single shot as I do. Now, here is a bird of prey type AR. It is a type A type of bird of prey, meaning it uses an Apollo tube to power it, and it uses a 23 kilogram prototype Monkey Mod spring as its power source. It is accurate to about a bottle of water from about 65, 70 away. I can pretty much take out a trash can, no problem, every shot from 200. I can usually hit a human from 200 unless it's windy or that human moves a lot or whatever. But the main thing with this is it is kind of zoned as primarily a long-range blaster. People coming up close, sure, you can zap them. I had a guy with an FDL who came up close, and I nailed him in the leg with this thing. And I'm sorry, I just hit you with a 330 to 350 foot per second pistol. I'm sorry about that. But, yeah, you could do that. But typically, I run with this in a Mauser. Now with this, you know, I got this in my hand, and somebody's coming up to me, and someone hits a tree, I can easily just, boom, drop this, boom, boom, boom. No problem. And that's usually what happens with this. And so these two make a really good firing system. But if I'm not escorted, and I don't have a backup blaster, definitely long shot. Now, when do you want to go something a little bit more like a Dark Zone Pro, or maybe, I don't know, a Ret style blaster? Well, okay, these blasters are a little bit more suited for ranges within 150. And wars where you're limited to about 200 feet per second, and there are quite a few of those. Can you sniper with these? Yes, I've seen people sniper, and I even used to sniper with literally 140 foot per second retaliator and arching the shot to hit up into the 185s. Okay, but I'm arching the shot like 30 degrees doing that. Now, a blaster like this, all I have to compensate for is instead of hitting the feet, I compensate about a degree and I'm hitting them either in the shoulders or the body. And hopefully not the head, but, you know, that sometimes happens, you know. But it has the same effect as if you watch too much Owl Ranch, and, well, it's kind of like this.
Do you think that's wise?
What the hell is your problem?
Yeah, that's what happens if you watch too much Owl Ranch. You'll end up like her. Anywho. Since we're not seeing ostriches just yet, I'm going to keep going on and explain to you AMR kind of blasters. Now, what about pistols? Long-range pistols. Long-range pistols are good because they're handy. They're smaller, but a lot of people use the shoulder support to play. A lot of snipers do. I'm one of the people who doesn't. I'm the kind of guy who used to break out like a 629 44 Magnum or an 829, which is 8-inch barrel, and I used to shoot at apples off a tree from 300 feet away. I used to hit them and make them go shatter, you know, with the two 240 grain hollow points or 180 grain soft point bullets. I used to just boom, especially 180 grain soft point, because you had such a velocity difference between the 240 and the 180, and nearly a flat trajectory to 100 feet. But anywho, these are really do come in handy. But again, it's a matter of preference. You know, does a double hand support and a scope like a pistol scope? Does that do it? Or a red dot? Does that do it for you? These typically have red dots, but I've been playing around the scope that I got from Alan Torino, and yeah, Torino, and that's pretty good. Oh, I finished that, by the way. Yeah, so really, you know, going from this to carbine is kind of a choice. Nice thing about this is going around halls and stuff and moving really fast around things is really easy. You know, I went up against a lot of Zingbo players with this, a lot of people. It's still one of my favorite blasters because I'm much more comfortable with the pistol format than I am the rifle format. And that's just because of my own preferences in blasters and my own neurological problems. I have a harder time aiming a rifle than I do a pistol. Pistol, I don't know for what reason, when I get those two grooves in the back and the one groove in the front lined up, I just have it. You know, I have very little shake in my fire, a little, that you can see, but that's still going to hit when I want to hit. Usually if I miss, it's usually me. It's not the blaster. It's usually me. But I make the blasters as good as possible, which brings me to my very next point. You want to tune up these blasters as much as you can. A blaster like this, okay, you run with a Scar, or you run with a, you know, a Lego DI unit, you know, you're pretty cool, okay? Lego DI units, you lose a little velocity, but the dart flies out perfectly, just beautifully. The guy's a whiz kid from Caltech. I know I've said that a million times in this show, but he is. Howji is, okay? He's brilliant. He's a brilliant guy. You're going to see a lot from him in the community. But with me, I run a Merlin. Now, Merlin, I have to warn you, it's a little more of a high-impact design. You may notice that, okay, my fire strikes, my sharp fires, they don't have a Merlin. Why? Because I'm going by the perfect air-to-barrel ratio to get me that dart. And sure, it doesn't spin as nice, But I'm only with a pistol like that, you know, like a Mauser fire, I'm only hitting stuff within 60, 70 feet anyway. I don't care, you know. But this thing, really high impact, high pressure design. This is a Merlin squared. It's a 60 by 3/8 rifling. And you may notice, okay, this is what I was talking about. The rifling is a lot wider than that one guy I was showing. Yeah. So, I did encourage Drac to do a part 2. Do it on long shots and everything. And he loves long shots. You know, they're great blasters. But maybe in the time, as of right now, he's not really in his arsenal. And I go through that. I don't have a single Caliburn. Now, what are Caliburn's good for? Okay, Caliburn's good for people that like that long stroke kind of firing. You're dividing the amount of power it takes to prime it by more distance. So where this is 23 kilograms, but it's only got that much draw. Okay, so in terms of total foot-pounds put on a dart, it's about the same, actually, because your firing distance on a Caliburn is about 7 inches. Okay, about 6-7 inches, yeah. Where this, you only got 2 1/3. And because of that, it's cool. It's easier to draw this and do a lot, but you have to have the torque in the arms to do it. I do. I got big freaking forearms. So, to me, that's much better. A Caliburn's a little bit more this part of the arm, too. So, a lot of that is that preference. A lot of people like the idea of being able to replace 3D printed parts, being able to service it, being able to customize it, and it does have a lot of airflow. So, it is a lot easier to get 300 feet per second out of that than, let's say, a long shot. And you got PAB, you got Sun's Guns, you got SAB, all making them. But to me, I like short draw. And what I mean by short draws, I mean that kind of draw. Chronos is the same thing. Here, let me shoot at my Thunderhawk here. Oh, are we okay? Yeah. Whew. I was so powerful, and these are nearly unbustable darts, that it actually busted the dart. Still have the blaster, though. Here, let me rip that off real quick. Ah, with the head. I'm losing my head. So, any rate, that's the thing about long range, is it has to do with what kind of environment you're in, what kind of blasters do you like, and what do you have for the rest of your loadout. That's another big thing. I can run with a Bird of Prey if I got a backup pistol, no problem. And I'm usually pretty untaggable. Okay, but it happens, you know. But I prefer Bird of Prey if I'm always going to be sitting across the field or always on the other end, and at the other end is at least 180, 200 feet, if not more, because it's a very stable platform to fire. There's no magazine. The coupler doesn't move. None of these parts move when you fire, and it hits almost the same place every time, unless the dart's worn or the barrel's a little dirty or what have you. Unless, of course, you're shooting FNJs. Here's the other thing that's really important to understand. What you shoot also depends on what ammo you have. I have hand-glued PAC-Ds. Not every war can I use hand-glued PAC-Ds. Ragnar Oktoberfest last year, I had to use rubber FNJs, okay, for the sniper competition, and the aim point on this blaster was totally off. Because this blaster has some barrel harmonics to it, especially then. Now, not so much. I had fixed a lot of that. I brought it down quite a bit, but it just wasn't good, and also didn't have the rate of fire. So you saw a lot of, you know, flywheel players winning the rate of fire, and of course, No. The sniper competition really should be try to hit stuff at 150 feet away. That's what it should be. Or really small stuff at 50 feet away, not big old jugs. Like, for example, I try to hit a string from 10 feet away, you know? So, that has a lot to do with it, too. It's preference. It's what are you going to need other than sniping? What does the blaster have to do? What kind of rate of fire does it have to have given that situation? And if you're going to do mostly close quarter or mid quarter, like 100 feet, you're a lot better off with one of these. I'll be honest. You're better off with a Prophecy or a Dart Zone Pro or CETA. Yeah, a decent CETA though, not out of the box. Out of the box, they get junk. But nonetheless, let's move on. Speaking of Caliburns, Captain Slug has released something pretty cool, but you may have seen it before. Yeah. Gotta talk about that. So the first person I heard from about this was Jason Tor about the double Captain Slug blaster. Yeah, you got it. So, where have we seen this before? Well, SAB made a double. Does anybody remember? So, Captain Slug making this, it's not a perfect copy. It does have different rail system and different everything to it. And there's even a wing version where you can have the magwells, instead of going like this, you can go like this. And that's really cool. But he says that the prime is about 2/3 more. And maybe that's with K25s, I don't know. But mathematically, it's twice the power. You have twice the springs, you have twice the power. Maybe it's friction. Maybe it's the fact that you're riding on 2 of them, so it makes it easier prime. I don't know. Then if you were to put 2 of the same power springs on the same one, I don't know. But nonetheless, which makes sense, because then you have twice the amount of grab onto the force. That's just, so, okay, maybe. I don't know. But nonetheless, yeah. It's pretty interesting what they're doing with this blaster. Captain Slug also made a family of blasters. He did a picture of the whole Caliburn family for all of us to see and rejoice. And that's everything. The only problem is that when I first saw this on a cell phone or smartphone, it was like very small, tiny. So they have all the blasters here. The Talon Claw. I think you have, I can't tell because it's so small even on this big screen. But you have Talon Claw Whale, every version of Caliburn, every Mega Caliburn, everything. And the guy is obviously very hard at work. You know, here's the Doc's version right here. Let's see if this is any clearer. Because the picture he shows us is not, here we are. Very, very cool. Caliburn machined part 1, ESLTs, Rev Shot, Plus Bow, Revision 3. He puts it all here and shows us all what's what and what's where. I like that. So every variant he's ever done of every blaster, and I know I have done a lot of revisions, even as of every caliber, including SABs. So there's some SABs in here. Yeah. Chimera's in here. O'Neill Pump's in here. Second Degree Burn is in here. So Second Degree Burn is what they're calling that new one. SAB Genesis, Double Barrel. So he points that, okay, I like this. Thank you, Slug. The two are related. He's not trying to get away with anything or anything stupid. Yeah, the two are related, but I will be honest. Between the Double Barrel, which I think is cool, but I'd rather get it from Slug. I would rather get Second Degree Burn from Slug. But you remember that you gotta line up the barrels perfectly to shoot evenly and everything. And the SAB has a little bit more kind of Singapore functionality. It uses metric parts, everything else is such. It's amazing how far that, as not just his creations, but other people, how far this blaster has gone. It has really caliber for kids, PAB 3.0, Mega Burn 2, Mega Burn R2, Worker Burn. Wow. So here's Worker Burn right here. Yeah, everybody knows Worker Burn. Yeah, it's amazing how far it's gone. And I really congratulate Rival Burn. That's got to be cool. Rival Burn. It's really cool. But, again, these blasters are just not my cup of tea. They never really have been. I don't like the way they prime. I don't like how long they are. Some people just love them. Aren't you crazy, Chris? And yeah, okay, maybe, sure, I am. But, to be honest. Right. But this is cool that he's not just created the Caliburns, but he's also kind of tending to the legacy of Caliburn. And from the horse's mouth, you can find any Caliburn you want from any company, anywhere. And he's also giving credit to these people that these people built it. Not that some people deserve credit, like SAB. I don't think they really deserve credit, but he grants it anyway. So anyway, I got some packages. Let's open some up, shall we? I got a couple packages. So this I got from Nerf Nerdette. I actually paid $10 for, but she sent it to me, which was really nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let's open this baby up. Thank you. And she sent it to me all the way from Australia. Thank you, Nerf Nerdette. I really appreciate it. I remember the first day that you actually showed up on Facebook, and I said, we've got a Nerdette. I thought that was really cool. We've got a Nerdette. Awesome. And look at this. Look at this. Oh, so this is a Sydney Nerf patch. I gotta open this up. And this is so rad. Look at the texture on this. Guys. Oh, wow. I want to find out who supplied this. And she gives you a matching back. So because this is die cut and it's a different shape than square. Of course, it's going to do better on a die cut, different shape backing of Velcro. Oh, thank you. I know I paid $10 for this, but thank you anyway. It must have been a lot of trouble to ship it. Look at the texture on it. It's raised. The whole thing's raised and colored. It's kind of a rubberized material. This is really cool, man. This is really cool. And it looks really awesome. So you are going up on my wall of friends. 1 second. 1 second. Cut that a bit later. But yeah, right above Big Blue. Right above the butt of Big Blue. Just in case you missed it, my frame is a little low in Owl Ranch. But yeah, there it is, right there, on the wall of friends. Right there. I'll try to aim a little higher next time. Yes, I will. There you are, Sydney Nerf. There's your Patchy. Patchy. Congratulations. Welcome to the Wall of Friends, Sydney Nerf. I appreciate all of you guys watching my show and everything else. And, you know, I appreciate you on Death by Nerf Blaster for sure. And then we got another package. Believe it or not, I have not been able to find this in Santa Clarita. But Dwayne Hoy, who I showed those things, you know, the scoop on the orbits. He actually showed me the scoop on the orbit, the X-Shot orbit. Sent me this because I know everybody's getting really sick and tired of me not having a version of this blaster, and a lot of people are waiting to see what am I gonna do with this blaster. I know what it is because he told me ahead of time what it was, but. Oh gosh. Here it is. Oh. I'm making a decision. This is no longer the viewer harassment tool for the show. This is. It's a knockout, baby. Oh, it looks so cool. It looks so rad. 80 foot per second velocity, but I knew we could do better. Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to just open this up. I've wanted one of these for so long. I didn't get any for my birthday because nobody could find them. Including my parents. They couldn't find them anywhere. Nobody could find these things. But I got a nice pair of shorts. I mean, new pair of shorts and a few other things. Yeah. So I had an okay birthday. Look at this. Okay. Oh, that is so fucking fly. Wow. Your AR's back there, and oh, so we're gonna have to do a review video on this, definitely. Let's see here. Let's open this up, and then I gotta show you something that someone is doing with this blaster. That I think, oh, they cleverly hide the balls here. That I think is really cool, and he's doing some mods with the knockout, and it really shows how versatile this blaster is going to be. And this is just the beginning. Wow, so the instructions are way up here, on top of here. This is really unusual packaging for Hasbro. I would say a first in a lot of ways. Like, they're using the box as the ball holder rather than the plastic. And they're using that. So, okay. So, let's see here. I like it! Mikey likes it! I mean, really, if you think about it. Is that really that far off from, like, you know... Fuck. No. Not at all. Not at all. So, if you're used to having to load your breech and load your plunger, it's not bad. Also, the nice thing about this, nice little safety down here, I like it, is that, okay, this push, like this. What you're doing, by doing that, is you're freeing the mass of this from your firing mech. It's actually a very good idea. And I like that you can reach that real easy. I like that, man. Oh, right in the fucking face. Ow. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, if I was working for a network, I can sue them, but no. Chris is not that fortunate in life, sadly. So, Jason K. Silva made this. He got it up to 150 feet per second, which is not bad. The Walrus, Wallcom S7, made one with a brass breech. He got it up to about, I think, he got his up to about 160. But, you know, that's peanuts compared to other developments I have seen with the Knockout. Other stuff that I've seen that is just ball-busting great. And I want to show you that real quick. So Mike Bridge has been talking to me online lately, and he's been showing me some of his ideas. What is that right there? Can you tell what that is? Does that look like one of Liam Davis's nice little pieces of work? It actually is one of his nicest little tanks. You got it. And he's been putting brass breeches in the barrels and just doing some very, very cool things with it. He's got ideas to mag integrate it. He's been playing with plunger rods, all sorts of stuff. As you can see, he cut out the bottom to fit an HBA tank. And he's getting some really good velocities. I hear it's up in the 300s. Which is like 350s, which is really good. Well, I think, was he doing 350, 330? I think he was doing 330, and I told him to go longer barrel to get 350. It's definitely very, very cool. It's very, very cool. And it's just, wow, you know? Yeah, so it's hooked to an air source there, and he's trying to find a way to make this reciprocating, and I think he can. I think he can probably make that reciprocating, and it would work out. So with a Blaster Tech Scar brass barrel, I think he was getting 330 feet per second from the setup. Really, really just awesome stuff. And people just really looking at this blaster and going, wow, what can we do with this thing? I will find out myself what I can do with it. You know, there's also, you know, air tanking a chronomag. That'd be pretty kick-ass. And auto feed. So auto feed and OLC. So Mike Bridge, there's definitely a name to look out for right there, especially since he's crazy enough to do this with the springs. Oh yes. Ooh, I got myself there good. So at any rate, this is like really, really rad. So to close this show, I'm going to, I think, grab this little blaster, grab some bourbon, a cigar, and go downstairs and hang out for a bit. So why don't you come join me? I decided after a long day of shooting and even a longer day of editing 7 gigabytes of files, ending up with about 5 or 6 gigabytes of video and uploading that all night, I should just smoke a cigar. And this is a Montecristo Nicaraguan series, which is actually really good. I saved you the boring details of lighting this thing. Try out a cigar. Oh God, what is this stuck with anyway? Jesus Christ. Ah, okay, I'm retaking this. Ah, fucking. What the shit? This is supposed to slide like right out. What the? Oh. Wait, so this is glued. So whoever made these boxes hired us a handicap. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to just have to open it like this because for some reason, some people don't know how to make freaking matchboxes. Okay, set. Take 2. So, you know, after a long day of doing the Nerf news, yeah, so here it is right here. That video was just a little too bright, so I'm reshooting it right now, as a matter of fact. And I want to thank Dwayne Hoy for sending this. I want to thank our favorite Nerdette for sending me that package for Sydney Nerf, and I really appreciate this show. It is tough at times. Sometimes, I mean, last month has been very busy for me, very hard for me to do a show. I used to do one every 2 days, and lately I've been doing one every 2 weeks, and I'm really sorry about that. But I am doing some organizing, some restructuring. I am going to take, it doesn't slip out of my hand first. I am going to take this apart and show you the workings of it. I am going to mod this and going to do great guns, and anybody knows a Cartaya blaster, really, yeah. But I really do like the loading of this. And although I don't like these little ammo holders, and to me, 2 actions to load, 3 actions to load, it's no big deal. I have to do that with the bird of prey all the time. But at any rate, you know, it's a really good system. Wow. I was aiming the wind chimes and I hit the branch of the tree right behind me. The one branch was blocking their tracks. I mean, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty dang good. So, I mean, Nerf is doing some good stuff like this in the Perseus, and then they're just dumping all this money into the Ultra one. Oh, God. And they're even doing like a show. You guys seen, you know, This Week in Nerf? And again, you don't want to just watch my show because you'll end up just like this.
Probably just a coincidence.
Really? You're going with coincidence?
Yes, Lana, I'm going with coincidence.
Do you think that's wise?
What the hell is your problem?
You don't want to end up like that. Nor do you want to end up being a 44-year-old guy who does nothing but shoot Nerf guns and go to Disneyland. Aspire higher kiddos, but then again, kiddos really just shouldn't even be watching this show. You're talking about a Nerf guy who drinks hard liquor on the air and shoots at things and tells you not to go changing, or I'll find you. So let's aim for the fences. How does this thing do? I'm going to aim for the statue on top of the fence here. Hold on. Well, not quite, but it hit the same line, but it kind of... So it is kind of slow. And you can feel that spring. It is actually a pretty beefy spring. Maybe not beefy for somebody like me, because I'm used to really powerful spring loads. See, that's cool. You can just, like that on your leg and just, yeah, that's really cool. So, but yeah, so I see a lot of good invention with Nerf, and then I see shit like the Ultra one. It's like, you know, we always have a dud every once in a while. Remember the Centurion? Yeah, it was pretty much a dud. And mainly a dud because it was a very big disappointment to others, including myself. Do I think this blaster can do my red chronomag kind of speed? It's like 170 feet per second. Possibly. I doubt it, but possibly. Do I think it could do really good as a step and shooter? Would it be better as a step and shooter? Actually, I really think it would be better as a step and shooter. You want to know the truth. And I think this stop can go farther forward, and I think you can do a lot with this blaster. I'm going to open up, check it out, check out what it is, and everything else. But at any rate, this is Chris Cartaya. This is the end of Nerf News from the Owl Ranch, Season 2, Episode 36. And just when you thought it was safe and I was out of ammo, I am not out of ammo. So don't you go changing, or I'll frickin' find you. Take care. Ah, shit, it blinked. Damn it. Damn this California weather. Doodles. Wednesday afternoon, we might get lucky. Hand-carved wood door. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, I see stools. We're gonna have a seat. And here we are in Trader Sam's. It's my birthday. I'm by myself. I'm used to it. I'm usually here all by myself. Get used to living a life like that. And dealing with your own internal problems, internalizing everything. And that's your life. Ha ha ha. litter everywhere. One of the many things I do to basically cope with being a lonely person my whole life. Solitary person my whole life. Yep, go to places like this. To the pure life. Couldn't be helped. But that was 92 proof Jerry. Right down the hatch.